It is back to school time, so we're over at one of the Hawthorne schools to make everybody mindful of this new season that makes it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of excitement, so that means all of us have to work together. We're here with Jeff from Vernon Hills Police Department and Miss Casey from Countryside Fire, and they're going to give us some tips. And just to start out though, before we go into the tips, the key is it doesn't matter where you live or if you've got kids or not. This is the time of year where we all have to be watchful.
Yeah, wherever you live, you're going to see increased pedestrians, bicyclists, cars, school buses. So be mindful of that. Give yourself a little extra time in the morning and just watch out for those kids, especially the buses.
Well, and Miss Casey, as we talk, you're going to see more of Miss Casey because she's going to be teaching all our kids all around. And one of the things is just courtesy and safety and mindfulness, whether we're in the car or we're the ones walking.
Yeah, we're super excited to be in the classroom again, visiting with all the kids, but we want to make sure the kids get there safely. So paying attention, maybe giving yourself a little bit extra time in the morning, knowing where the bus stops are, giving yourself some time so we can see all the kids and we can have fun with them in the classroom.
Wonderful. So let's get started. Let's start with some tips for the walkers.
Hi, Casey Staffseth here with Countryside Fire Protection District. I will be in the schools. I'm the fire and life safety educator working with kids from pre-K all the way to high school. We're super excited to be in the classroom teaching all of the things to keep you safe. One of the most important things is we need you to get to the classroom, so we want you to get there safe. We want to remind students to wake up a little bit earlier, know where your bus stop is, know where the crosswalk is. We want to make sure we're not crossing in the middle of the road, we're crossing at the crosswalk here. We want to make sure that we are listening to the crossing guard, making sure we're following all the instructions. When you're crossing the street at the appropriate crosswalk, we want to look left, right, left again. Make sure we're crossing, make sure we're wearing bright clothing so that people can see us. We also want to make sure that we have no distractions. So the phones, we want to put them down. If you're wearing earbuds, let's turn it down. Let's maybe take them out. We want to make sure we can hear. Also, before you're crossing, there's a car coming, let's make eye contact. Make sure they see you before you cross the road. We want to make sure that you get to school safely so we can have fun learning all about fire safety.
So let's talk about e-bikes. First of all, e-bikes are not allowed on the sidewalk. They're only permitted in the street. So if your child is considering an e-bike, know that they can only ride on the street. Regular bikes are okay on the sidewalk.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about crossing guard safety. We want everyone to remember that the crossing guards are here for everyone's safety. If they're telling you to stop, that means stop. We want to make sure the students are waiting for their signals, hand signals, only crossing when they're saying it's safe to. Drivers, give them a little bit of room. Make sure that you're backed up enough so you can see what's going on. And parents, we want to make sure that we're telling our kids to listen to the crossing guards, only cross when it's safe, and remember, only cross at designated crosswalks.
I want to give you some tips for our motorists that with school back in session, some things to be mindful for. First thing is, kids at the crossing the street with the crossing guards, give yourself plenty of room, allow that crossing guard to safely get those kids across the street. Second of all, kids can be unpredictable. So whenever you see kids in the area, be mindful. You never know what they're going to do. We encourage them to be careful, look both ways, but you just never know. Another thing is school buses. Watch out for those school buses. So we see those yellow caution lights, that means they're about to stop. Red lights come on, that stop arm comes out. Stop, let them do their thing. Last thing is, put those phones down. You may have a hands-free, but just don't use your phone when you're in the school zone. Watch out for those kids, and we want to get the kids safely to and from school and have a great back to school.
Well, one more topic we want to touch on is about school buses. We got a lot of kids that ride school buses, so Miss Casey, let's talk about what kids need to do as they're waiting for the bus or getting on and off the bus.
We want to make sure the kids are following all the instructions that the bus driver gives. Know where your bus stop is and stay away from the street, stay on the curb. We want to make sure that you guys are safe. Wait for the driver's instructions before crossing in front. So if they have the arm out, if they give you a signal, make sure you're following their instructions. When you're on the bus, we want to make sure that you are safe. Make sure you're always stay seated. You have the aisles clear in case of an emergency, and just paying attention. We really want you guys to pay attention. We want you to know what's going on.
Look, take care of each other on the bus. Be kind, be courteous. Talking about kind and courteous and following the rules, let's talk then about if I'm driving down the street, we're going to see a lot more buses, and we're watching where the bus stops are, but at any point, the bus can give us a signal. Can you talk about what a driver needs to do?
So when you see that bus, the yellow lights come on, that's a caution that they're about to stop. Red lights come on, the stop arm comes out, both directions need to stop, allow the kids to load and unload. And then never pass a stop school bus with the stop arm out.
And it's always good to leave a little extra room. Don't get right up on the back of that bus. Don't get right up on the front of that bus. Leave a space for those kids to do what they got to do.
Yeah, give yourself plenty of room. The further you're back, the more you can see. If you're way up close, the bus itself is going to block your vision.
So pretty simple stuff. Straightforward, courtesy, kindness, mindfulness. We want to have a great school year. We want to have a safe school year. So thank you both for taking the time to give us these tips and remind us of all these things. And in short, we just wish everybody a great school year, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We can't wait to see you guys. We want you to get to school safely, so follow these safety tips and we'll have a good school year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.